Hi Year 9, hope you guys are well. Now, we're going to start looking at the written paper in a little bit more detail now. Obviously, if we were in college and if everything was normal, we probably wouldn't be looking at the written paper just yet. We'd start looking at it after Christmas. So I do realise there is a lot of information that I'm giving you now. Don't worry, we'll go over it again, but the more you can have in your heads now, the better. When we get back, hopefully we can get straight into practical and we won't do written for a little while. But please have this knowledge, please have it written down somewhere, please keep that fact book because it's going to help you so much because this is stuff that you do need to know. So we're looking at Blood Brothers. Now, Blood Brothers is something you will study in English and you'll study in drama. Before you look at this, please try and have a bit of prior knowledge of the play. Now, I can't in a 15-minute YouTube video go through with you everything about Blood Brothers. Have a research a bit. Go on BBC Bitesize, there's lots on that. I'll put a link in the links bit below the video. Please make sure you have a little bit of knowledge of Blood Brothers. Obviously it's about two brothers. They are separated at birth. One is given away to Mrs. Lyons, who is a wealthy lady, and her husband, and one is kept with Mrs. Johnston, that is Mickey, and raised as a working class lad. And they grow up in totally different lives, totally different work class, and they meet. When they're 7 years old, they both meet, and it's about their story and about their lives and the ups and downs there. If you get a chance to go and watch it on YouTube, type in Blood Brothers. There's a West End production that's been on there for ages. Have a watch of that, so you'll have some decent knowledge of the play. If you get a chance to buy one, that would be brilliant. It's the one, if you go on Amazon, with the red front cover. That is the one that we use in drama. So please, if you get a chance, buy one. If you don't worry, have a little watch of it. So Blood Brothers section B. This is an example of a 4-mark answer that you will see in an exam. Now, this particular one, probably a little bit too much detail, I'd say. But this is for the character of Linda. Now, Linda is Mickey's friend. She's working class. She is, in this particular scene that we are talking about now, a 7-year-old girl. So the question will go something along the lines of, let me find, you are designing a costume for a 7-year-old Linda to wear. So we are designing a costume for a 7-year-old Linda to wear. You will be given the year, so you're designing a costume for a 7-year-old Linda to wear in 1960s working class Liverpool. So the answer is as follows. I would dress Linda in a red floraled patterned skater dress. Now you notice there the student hasn't just written, I would dress Linda in a red dress. That would not be enough detail to get 4 marks. She also hasn't put, I would dress Linda in a red patterned dress, because also, what pattern? Doesn't give you enough detail. I would dress Linda in a red floraled patterned skater dress that fits just above the knee. This is to reflect her bright personality. Over the top of the dress, I would dress her in a white long-sleeved cardigan. The cardigan would be that's supposed to be off-white colour, apologies, because this reflects her working class background and not being able to afford new clothes. The cardigan would be worn properly. For example, it wouldn't fit her shoulders, it would just be placed over the top of her arms. This shows that she is more interested in playing out and about with her friends during the scene, and priority is going out rather than her appearance. Linda would be wearing again off-white flat pump shoes that would have the occasional spot of mud to show her personality and that she cares about being out with her friends. Although the shoes would also have a small bow placed on the top of the shoe, this is to show that Linda still wants to show off being girly and wants to feel pretty with the way she looks. Now, question 6.1 is a design question. So we are looking at various different types of design. Now you can be asked about set design, costume design, lighting design, or sound design. Now this particular one obviously is costume design. When you are talking about a design of anything, the main thing when you are writing it is you want the person reading it to be able to picture it in their mind. So you can picture Linda and you can picture exactly what she is wearing. If I'm talking about a set, I can picture, as the person is writing it, exactly what that's going to look like in front of me. And if this was all I had was this question, I could go out and I could buy this dress and this outfit and I know what I'm getting. If I only had the set description, I could go out and get all the bits of the set that I needed just with the written writing in front of me. That is how much detail that needs to be in there. Now you'll see on your fact book, I've put social, cultural, historical context. That links to things such as reflects her blight personality, reflects her working class background, not being able to afford new clothes. If you know the social, cultural, historical context of Blood Brothers and you know a bit about the play, you can put these moments that explain why she will be in this particular outfit. Okay. So the context of this is a bit about this now is your social, cultural, historical context. So Blood Brothers is set in working class Liverpool. Willie Russell wrote this play and he wrote it for the working class people of Liverpool. So it really shows the actual reality there. In the 70s, 80s, there was a big economic decline in Liverpool. The unemployment rate was as high as 50% in the 80s. That's when Maggie Thatcher was there. You'll hear a lot of things about her throughout the play as well. There was a massive gap between the middle class and the working class. So big gap there, there's a massive class divide. Mickey is in working class and Eddie is in middle class. So you've got a big divide in the characters there as well, and the way they act, they move, they use the stage. Secondary modern schools, I popped that in there because Mickey goes to a secondary modern school and Eddie would go to a grammar school. So the difference in their education as well. So that's your context there. Okay, what I'd like you to do is pause this slide for me, and from what you know of these characters, you might not know a lot of some of them, but the ones further down, you may not be able to do them if you haven't got a book. I'll go through them, but can you write some notes on costume for the following characters? So what do you think Mrs. Lyons, Mrs. Johnson would wear? Mickey at the end of Act 2 is 7 years old still. End of Act 2, sorry, he is an adult. He is 20s, I believe, late 20s. Eddie at the end of Act 1 is 7. Linda at the end of Act 2 is around, late 20s, early 30s kind of age. And Sammy at the beginning of Act 2 is a teenager. So I'm sure he's about 18. Don't quote me on that, but something up along those lines. Okay, this is your structure of a costume question. So in the first bit, you'll give me a little bit of context and scene. So in this scene, Linda is wearing X, Y, Z. So in this scene, Linda is playing out with Mickey and she will be wearing A. Precise details. So dress them from the top of the head to the bottom of their shoes. Your intended audience impact and link it back to context throughout. So as you can see on this question here, she's not included the context of the scene, but then this person's gone on to say exactly what she's wearing and exactly why. Okay. So if you'd like to pause it and have a go at these questions, then that would be absolutely fantastic. Anything you do, if you want to send me it and have a look over it, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Description. So you will be asked to describe, also you could be asked to describe a set. Now you only have one 4-mark question per exam. So you either get a costume or a set question or a lighting question or a sound question. So for a set question, we're going to look at this a little bit more in lessons. I really want to focus on costume today. However, if you want to have a go, if you're twiddling your thumbs and you don't know what to do, for the description of a set question, you're absolutely describing everything that you can think of in that set. But remember, you're doing it for a stage and not a film set. So it needs to be stuff that you can use on stage. You can take it on and off quite easily, and you can explain how you would do that. You also need to talk about what area of the stage it would be in. So would it be up stage left, down stage right, centre stage, and how you will create the effects given. So for instance, in Mickey's school, you will talk about the desks. So you will have 6 desks facing down stage right on an angle on centre stage. You would have them worn down slightly, so you might have sanded them down to create that effect. You would have a big chalkboard behind the desks, and on that you might have Linda loves Mickey in a love heart to show that Linda is obsessed with Mickey at this time. So you would really describe everything in that set. So if you could describe those settings underneath in 4 sentences and pause this, that would be brilliant. Okay. So, set design. This is the detail in a set design. So how you would do your particular structure of this question. So, context. So what is happening in the scene? Where are they? Why are they there? Staging form chosen. So this is it a proscenium arch stage? Is it a theatre in the round stage? Is it end-on staging and entrances and exits? Any detail on the sets or items that will be on stage. Precise detail, so give precise detail to the items on stage, the materials, condition, colours, fabrics. Where they are on stage, up stage right, down stage left, and are there any backdrops? So for these bits that you've just done, so Mickey's house, you can put that now into that particular structure. These are the grade boundaries for those questions. So 4 marks is your top marks, and as you can see, an excellent description. 3 marks is good description. So you need to really make sure that you are giving that real precise detail throughout the description to get the 4 marks on that. Now, this particular one here, this particular marking criteria is for Mickey's school. So these are things that the exam board has said you can write as answers to those questions. Feel free, please, to pause these and have a little good read of these. There's 1 and there's 2. Okay, so I do realise that I have absolutely whizzed through that. Now, what you are looking for in set design and in costume design, it's a 4-mark question. You will be given a scene from Blood Brothers in your exam paper. So, for instance, if the scene you are given is a set design and you're given Mickey's school, you're going to talk about what that scene will look like in front of you and how you would design that. If the scene you are given is a scene with Mickey and Linda, and you're given the character of Linda and her costume, you will just describe exactly what she's wearing in that scene for 4 marks. Okay? Any questions at all, please feel free to email me, srichards@johnfearnley.org, and I can help you out in any way I can. Please do not worry, we will go over all of this when we are back in school as well. But any head start you can get, have a re-look over the lesson, that would be fantastic. And like I say, I'm going to put a link to Blood Brothers below. As much knowledge you can get of this play, that is what we really could do with. Okay, take care, bye.